It was terrible and it was instant.
I got up and I looked out the window and I was like, oh my God, it was terror. It was just terror. I didn't know, I didn't know. I just didn't know.
Damage to the houses, damage to the cars, or some of them look like they have a cannonball hit the side of them. We were here for Irma. It looked like Irma, only in a 2-city block area. I mean, trees ripped down, roots uprooted, roofs off of houses, things ripped apart.
It was something. Never been through a tornado before.
A severe weather first alert right now at 6 after an EF1 tornado touched down in South Fort Myers. You are looking at damage from the Briarcliff community, where it touched down about 6:25 this morning, just south of Briarcliff Road and east of Michael G. Ripp Parkway. Over the span of 120 seconds, the storm damaged 35 homes along its 1.3-mile path to the north to the Daniels Corridor. The Eagle Ridge Golf Club taking a direct hit. This is video from the golf club showing tree trunks snapped in half, roofs torn apart, and mangled metal pool cages. The storm left a path of destruction about as wide as half a football field, with winds blowing at a top speed of 95 miles an hour. That's as fast as a Major League fastball. It's estimated the twister caused at least $500,000 worth of damage. NBC2 has live team coverage of that damage and of the cleanup. NBC2's Gage Golding is live in the Briarcliff community where the storm got started, and Ashley Graham is live at the Eagle Ridge Golf Club off Daniels Parkway where it came to an end. But we begin with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Allison Ray tracking the strong winds and the cold weather headed our way now.
Yeah, we paid the price tag, and now we are going to see a big change in our forecast and our weather as starting tonight. You're going to need a jacket if you are headed out. I wanted to pinpoint the storm that came on shore early this morning. It was quite strong, showed a little sign of rotation, and then it started to weaken before it started to regain its strength before the sun came up. So it was quite the storm. And like we mentioned, just about 2 minutes, and it created all that damage. To give you some perspective, if this is rare, if this is some of our more common months, no, we typically do not see tornadoes, or they're just not as common in the month of December. In fact, our least amount of tornadoes reported are in the month of December, typically the summer months, due to tropical activity and also just the active amount of thunderstorms we have during the sea breeze. Now, what's left over? Well, the winds are still a little breezy, but we're going to say goodbye to those real high gusts. Just a few isolated showers. The winds are still out of the north and on the breezy side, ushering in the cool, dry air, and temperatures will continue to fall. We'll talk more about how low the temperatures are actually going to fall coming up in a little bit.
We are taking you now from where the tornado first started its path of destruction to where it ended. So this is video from the Briarcliff community where the twister first touched down. NBC2's Gage Golding is there for us tonight talking to people who are cleaning up the damage.
This area off of Sweetwater Court has seen the brunt of the damage. Dozens of trees just like this effortlessly uprooted and laid down, and pieces of roofing just like this found thrown nearly football field away. It's a reminder of how strong Mother Nature is.
Just realizing how bad it was, seeing that, how strong the winds were, that they could pick up something and just put it into a tree that high, it just amazed me.
As the tornado ripped through this area off Briarcliff Road this morning, residents scrambled to get in their safe spot.
I could hear my mom screaming that it was a tornado and that we have to get into the pantry, which has no windows. It was almost surreal, just like I said, it was just complete silence. You really didn't hear nothing, and then just picking up and sounding like I said, a freight train.
Across the street, Scott Mackey walked outside, blindsided by both the storm and almost his patio furniture.
One of the umbrellas went flying by at a zillion miles an hour.
The worst damage here, roof shingles pulled off, the pool cage meticulously dismantled, and 10 palm trees dropped across his property.
10 of the big honkers are, they're down all the way around the yard.
While a tornado this time of year was an eye-opener to Scott, it's not the first he's had to deal with this year.
We had friends here last weekend from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and they literally came in as the tornadoes went through there, so I guess it was our turn.
This is a sight that neighbors will get used to seeing, at least for the next week, because cleanup here has just begun. I'm reporting in Fort Myers. Gage Golding, NBC2.
All right, thanks, Gage. So that's where the storm started. This video gives you an idea of where it finally dissipated. This is the Eagle Ridge community, just south of Daniels Parkway. Our team coverage continues with NBC2's Ashley Graham, who is there live for us tonight. Wow. Wild out there, Ashley.
Well, it's been an all-day cleanup. It really is wild. It's been all day cleanup out here. You can just see some of this debris that was torn off of a carport. This is just some of it. We've seen homes, pools, golf carts, just everything damaged out here. And we also know one person was slightly injured from some broken glass. But everyone we've talked to in the Eagle Ridge community today says they're just grateful to have made it through this. This time yesterday, the Eagle Ridge community was full of Christmas cheer.
Last night, my grandchildren are visiting from Spain. We came down here to look at decorations.
Down the street right here.
Everything was beautiful, and we were just, laughing and having a good time.
While some decorations survived the storm, entire pool cages and backyards have major damage.
This morning, my son-in-law said, "Oh my gosh, what a storm." He said the wind was like a freight train.
The 2-minute tornado tore through the neighborhood.
I got up and I looked out the window and I was like, oh my God.
It was terrible and it was instant.
It left behind a path of fallen trees and damaged roofs and windows.
Somebody with a brown roof is having a problem.
Damage to the houses, damage to the cars, or some of them look like they have a cannonball hit the side of them.
David Marr got a call from his mom saying her car was trapped under a damaged carport.
It literally took the carport from the far end from where she parks and folded it on top of itself. And that apparently the extra weight or something knocked down the part that was right over her car.
It did lead to a broken light, but his mom was one of the lucky ones.
This side,
Oh, I see.
that light got knocked out and smashed out, but other than that, it's just dirty.
Neighbors in Eagle Ridge spent the entire day cleaning up.
We had a gazebo in here that blew out, and this is our avocado tree.
Checking in on each other.
When I saw that palm tree down, that's what scared me the most, because it's got to be 60 feet tall. It just came all the way. Thank God it didn't hit anybody or hurt anyone.
And counting their blessings.
My dog is going to love this. She loves to tear up the coconuts that came down off of the tree.
And we did talk to some neighbors who were more severely impacted by this tornado. They say that having tornado drills that they practice over and over were the key to making sure everyone who was in the home made it out safely. I'm reporting live in Eagle Ridge. Ashley Graham, NBC2.
All right, Ashley, thank you. Our team coverage continues with First Alert meteorologist Rob Duns. And Rob, you were able to tell this was a tornado pretty early on by looking at the damage on the ground.
That's for sure. Remember that this tornado struck before the sun came up this morning, but as soon as the sun did come up and we got our first images of the damage, a lot of the trees were a telltale sign that this was in fact a tornado. Now, as you know, tornadoes are gauged on something called the Enhanced Fujita Scale that Doppler 2 will show you, and based on the damage estimates that was done earlier today, the National Weather Service concluded that this was an EF1 tornado based on the tree and home damage with winds of at least 95 miles an hour. Now, if you ever wake up in the morning and trees are all over the place, one of two things happened. Either a straight line wind event came through or a tornado came through. And one way you can demonstrate that is by pretending that these popsicle sticks would be trees. Now, in the summertime, Allison and I, we track a lot of straight line wind events, and that's when the trees all bend over in one direction just like that, a very strong, powerful burst of wind that can sometimes be as or more dangerous than a tornado. But today, not the case. Reasons why? Because the damage video saw those trees move in some cases 2 different directions. And we also had, like I just showed you in the video,
a lot of snapped trees.
A lot of trees that looked like this. And whenever you see trees snapped like that, that's a telltale sign that there was definitely something like a tornado moving through because of the spin that happens right over top of those trees.
Yeah, right, we had some strong winds, not only where the tornado was, but even up through parts of Charlotte County. We had wind gusts up to near 77 miles per hour. So those straight line winds, you don't have to be in the path of a tornado to have those.
That'll knock down the pool cages and take down the trees and power lines as well.
Thankfully, the strongest winds are behind us. These were some of the highest wind gusts that we had today. 15 miles per hour is a little bit more manageable. Those are current wind speeds. We'll talk more about the wind speeds for tomorrow coming up a little bit later.
What I want to do now is give you another look at all the damage in our community from this morning's storms. Let's start with a view from above. This is drone video from the Lee County Sheriff's Office, again, in the Eagle Ridge community off Daniels Parkway. And you can see some serious damage, especially to roofs. That's the clubhouse right there. Some carports came down. Lee County had to shut down its COVID testing site at CenturyLink Sports Complex. The strong winds knocked over the tents, trailers, and porta potties. The Lee County Department of Health site on Michigan Avenue was also closed. This is coming at a horrible time as testing ramps up ahead of the holiday and the Omicron surge. NBC2 is working to find out if those testing sites will reopen tomorrow. As soon as we find out, we'll let you know. Fort Myers Beach saw some seriously strong winds. This is video from Salty Sam's Marina. Yep, this is video from downtown Fort Myers, I'm pretty sure right there. Yeah, you can see some boats had their moorings, came off their moorings. Companies canceled all boat rentals and cruises for the day. Not a good day to be out on the water. A small craft advisory is in place for all boaters tonight. And here's a look at a home in Cape Coral. This is at least what it looked like yesterday. Beautiful, lit up home, lots of decorations. But some strong winds blew through this part of the Northeast Cape, and today, well, this is what the home looks like. It is a broken mess of metal and destroyed decorations. Those powerful winds blew the trees and Christmas lights around the yard, and forget it, if you had one of those blow-up Christmas decorations, well, they were gone. In Charlotte County, we just got these new photos from the fire station in Port Charlotte. You can see winds tore apart some of the roof. This is the station along Collingswood Boulevard. The storm also damaged several homes under construction in other parts of the county. A sailboat broke loose from its mooring and is now stuck under the Tom Adams Bridge. Now, this is the bridge that links Minnesota Key to Englewood in Charlotte County. Deputies also had to shut down the bridge that links Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte. Strong winds blew debris right on to US 41. You can see those construction cranes in the distance for the Sunseeker Resort dangling over the busy road. That was a big concern this morning. Thankfully, those cranes withstood the wind. And now it's the perfect time to download the NBC2 weather app. You can hold the power of Southwest Florida's only live Doppler radar in the palm of your hand. It's free. Just search NBC2, NBC WX wherever you get your apps. Scams, calls on the rise, why your student loans are the target, and how you can avoid becoming a victim. Only at 6.